understand about income, what they understand about income is the fact that you work somewhere, you make money, or you sell a product, you make money. That's the basic thing that people actually understand about income. That's literally the only thing that an average Nigerian understand about income. And income is not only about that. That's why the title of this webinar is the Income Mastery Blueprint, because to actually be wealthy, to be rich, right? To build wealth, there is an entire blueprint that you have to understand, and you have to play by the rule. You have to play by that blueprint, right? In December we spoke about 2025 financial blueprint, some things you should know going into 2025 financially, right? But now we want to talk about some things you should know about income for you to actually be doing what you are doing, for you to achieve your dreams. So that's what we will talk about. And under it we have understanding types of income, how you can unlock value, and how you can build wealth that lasts, right? I mean, I think it's not a strange thing that we've seen people growing up that they seemingly appear like they were well to do, they had money. Then as we started growing, it just looked like things started changing to some extent, right? I mean, we've seen guys maybe on our street or in our, say, in our community or in our estate, that they look like they have it figured out. They were rich to say, right? At a certain point, it looks like they were broke. I think the current word that people use for it is they become old taker, right? So what's the difference between the new taker and the old taker? How can you become a constant taker? I think that's what we want to talk about now. All right, great. So, like I said before, I'm Olufemi Chris. I'm a business analyst. I'm a financial analyst. I've done a couple of interesting stuff. Currently, I'm on a journey of figuring out how to build a billion naira company, right? I think I've done a company that is, say, 10%, 20% of that. I'm currently on a journey of how to build a billion naira company. I'm figuring it out. I don't know how yet, but I'm figuring it out. So that's who I am. And that's one thing that I feel like is give me, I think, some kind of experience to share about you, share with you what I've learned around income and what I figured out that works perfectly, right? All right, so let's get started. Why income, right? I think the reason why we would want to talk about income is no matter what we tell ourselves in society, no matter how we put it or how we try to pitch it, either in the religious setting or in the social setting, right? In the church, in the mosques, at the club, anywhere, in school, anywhere, the money is something that we literally can't do about without, right? As much as people say money is the root of all evil, which is not true, right? I mean, for the Christians here, if anybody is telling you that money is the root of all evil, I would tell you that the person is lying to you. You know the reason why? The actual phrase is the love of money is the root of all evil. So that means it's not money itself that is the root of the evil, it's the love of it. So that means if you love it excessively, right? If you love it so much than any other thing, love it so much than God, than your family, yourself, then that love itself is the root of the evil, right? Not money, right? Money is not evil. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil, right? The love. I mean, just the way people could be addicted to alcohol, right? The love of alcohol, excessive love of alcohol is what is called addiction. Excessive love of, say, marijuana is the addiction to marijuana, right? So alcohol in itself, say a bottle of fine wine now. I mean, oh, you can't see the wine beside me. See, a bottle of fine wine, there's a bottle of wine behind me, right? You can't see it. But the bottle of wine behind me is not evil, it's not bad. It's something that can be appreciated. It's literally an art. People have wine collections that it's worth millions and millions of dollars. Those bottles of wine are not evil, but they are not evil. But the excessive love of the feeling that those bottles of alcohol bring when you take them is what can become evil. The same thing with money. Money is not evil. The excessive love of it is what becomes evil. And the fun fact is that most people don't know is when you don't have something that you have excessive love for it. I don't know if you discovered that. It's when you don't have something that you have excessive love for it. Let me give you an example. It's when you don't have, say, a laptop, that you think of different things that you can use a laptop for, right? That you so fall in love with that particular laptop. By the time you get that MacBook, It's just, I say, after the first day, the second day, the first week, the first month, it intoxicates you a little bit. After 2 months, it's just your laptop, right? That's the thing, because you already have it. You don't have so much attraction to. You are not longing after it again. The same way with money. So why are we talking about income? The reason why we are talking about income is it's a very crucial part of our life. Say 90 or 80% of what you would do in life depend on your ability to attract money to you. Your ability to attract money, get somebody to give you their money, get people to give you their money, get organizations to give you their money. That's that's a very crucial part of our life, right? And if we look at it, right, I mean, all of us have, I think, if not all, say 90% of people on this webinar now, at some point I grew up, say, in a family where maybe things were a little bit tight and we're not so, I mean, we're not so rosy. We could, as maybe at that point, we could use an extra, say, 10,000, an extra 50,000, an extra 100,000. You get the idea. So that means income is a very big part of your life. Then when you don't have it, a lot of things just look like they are going wrong. So you actually, so that means you have to focus on it. It's important. You have to understand how it works beyond what the society is saying. I mean, say the society perfectly define or teach us about income or money, then everybody should be rich. I think we can all agree with me that if society teaches us what everything we need to know truly about income and money, everybody in society should be rich. But no, the society is not teaching us. Our parents is not teaching us because it's not their fault. They don't really know some of these things, right? They might know it in their own way, but they don't know it so structured that they can develop a game plan with it and say, if you do it this way, it will work. If you do it that way, it will work. If you don't do it this way, it will not work, right? So what is income? I think everybody on this webinar would know what income is. The concept of income is basically money that comes in for you, right? Either via a work that you do, or maybe some kind of gifting, right? Or a trade, right? So it's basically money that comes in for you. Income, from the word in, come, is coming into you, right? It's that money that you get when somebody pay you for a product you're selling, a service you're selling, a solution you are providing, or a problem you're solving, right? That money that comes to you is income, right? So, but there is something that most people actually don't talk about in the society, is the fact that as much as income is straightforward, as much as people would say, oh, if you need money, just get a job, somebody will pay you now. It's not that straightforward. The amount of money you can earn is not that straightforward. There are factors that can literally influence the amount of money that you can earn as an individual. And one of these factors, these are the factors basically. The factors that can influence the amount of money you make and how you make money is one, the effort. The effort that is required to actually deliver the solution you are providing or the value you are providing or whatever you are doing for the person that's paying you. The effort required, the skill, right? There are some jobs that you actually don't need so much skill. So say for example now, an individual want to get started working as in the blue collar space, say for the construction guys, right? You don't need a special skill. As long as you're able to carry, say, sound on your head, that's all. As long as you can carry sound on your head and move it from one location to another, that is all you need. You don't need special skill. So what you need in that place is effort, energy. Then you need time, right? Then knowledge, basic knowledge of this is how you carry this thing and put it on your head and go and give it to this person. So these are the factors that affect how much you can make. So when we are talking about the concept of income, one thing that our parents didn't really hammer down on, right? Didn't really like put out there really for us is the fact that you can make money by working, right? You can actually make money. I think growing up, we didn't really have a concept of the fact that you can actually make money. You can do something and somebody will pay you for it. And even when we got to know about it, we didn't really understand the fact that the amount of money you make is dependent on the effort you put in. I mean, we've always had what we always hear people talk about work hard or maybe read hard, get a good job and stuff like that. Well, maybe we've always known the part of the effort, right? But we've not so much heard about the part of the skill. I think it's growing up, having life experiences that made me realize the fact that it's not only about what you do, it's about the kind of skill you bring to the table. Say you are somebody that does SEO now, and you're just learning. Obviously, you would not get paid as somebody that is a guru like Olumide that can just sit down within 5 minutes, get all your problem around SEO sorted, right? That's a skill. And the time is how much time you can spend on the problem, on something to work for the person. Then also the knowledge. Obviously, the knowledge you are bringing to the table will determine what you'll be earning. Say, for example, now, I currently run a restaurant, right? And I can tell you that out of everything in the restaurant, I can tell you how 80% of the things in the restaurant work. I can tell you how 80% of the things in the restaurant work. And not just on a basic level. I can tell you from grounds up, right? I mean, between the first 3 months of the restaurant, I learned how to be a bartender. I learned how to make cocktails. I learned a lot of things within 3 months. I literally learned how to work in different roles within 3 months. So that's knowledge. So by the time I'm hiring somebody to come work in the restaurant, what would make me earn higher than the person? Or say maybe I travel out of the country now and I decide to say, I mean, let me just get a job and work somewhere for a time being or something, right? Or you get, I could literally pick up any of these skill and make money with it, right? Because I have acquired the skill and the knowledge over time, right? That's those are the things that affect how much you can make. So when you're looking at the concept of income, oh, I'm making 50,000 naira currently, and you want to increase how much you're making, what you have to look at are these three factors. The effort you are putting in. Is somebody outworking you where you are writing, say, 5 lines of code per day? Is somebody writing 30 lines of code per day? When you are skilled, when you can say maybe solve a problem in 10 minutes, is there somebody else that can solve the problem in 5 minutes? That's the skill. Then the time. Then how much time can you dedicate? When you say maybe you are working 4 hours, there's somebody that is working, say, 15 hours. The person is not sleeping in the night. I know developers like that. I know data analysts like that, data engineers like that. I don't sleep at all, right? Tech bros, crypto bros, I don't sleep. That's time. The knowledge. How well do you know about this thing, right? Example is the fact that we are on this webinar and I'm telling you about things, right? So that means to some extent, I know more about this thing than you. So say it's a case where somebody has to pay somebody. I can literally say, oh, Remile, give me 1,000, give me 1,000 naira. I'll teach you about this thing. So that means I can make money from this. So the amount of money that I can make depends also on my knowledge. So when I want to increase how much I'm making, I'll look across this 4 cards and tweak them a little bit, right? Maybe increase my skill, increase my efforts, increase my knowledge and stuff like that. And the time I can commit, right? So it will increase to some extent how much I can make. So some of our parents understood this, but that was where they stopped. This is where our parents stop. If your parent taught you up to what I said now, you've done amazing work. I mean, to teach you that you can make money, your effort is tied to the amount of money you make, is tied to your effort, your time, your skill, your knowledge. They've done amazingly well. They've done more than average parents currently in Nigeria. But this is where most of them stop. Say 90% of parents, this is where they stop. Because to become rich transcend beyond just having a job and getting paid monthly. There's an art to it. There's this just the way people learn, say, kung fu. Kung fu is an art, right? Just the way people learn painting. Painting is an art. Also, making income is an art on its own. It's something that, I mean, you have to learn how to say, you have to learn how to write code, right? You have to learn how to say maybe write a newsletter or how to do painting or how to say be a developer, how to write code, be a designer, how to design. You have to learn all of these skills, right? But making money itself, you have to learn how to make money actually. Forget the skill that you have. Something that our parents didn't teach us is the fact that apart from having the skill, you have to learn how to make money with it. Let me give you an example, right? So I think earlier that was last month, I was in Abuja for a class, right? So I was speaking with the person, and the person is what's it called, a trained chef, right? So the person was talking to me. I was like, oh, why do you start this and this and this? Because the person was the one teaching the class. So it's like at a certain point, she figured out that the money itself is not in being a chef, cooking for people. The money is not there. The real money is in owning something. Either you own a restaurant or you own a course that teach people how to manage a restaurant, or you own a culinary school that teach people how to become a chef. So the money is not in waking up every day, going to a restaurant where you have a job and get paid. That's not where the money stops. That's just the start of making the money. The money is in owning things, right? So, which is what we are going to see, right? So, what was our parents missing? What is missing from what our parents? I mean, I said our parents stopped at that point. So, what is missing? The things that are missing is just three. The first one is perspective. Perspective. How our parents are seeing the world, how they are seeing making money, making income. It's basically, I would say 90% of our parents are seeing it completely wrong. They are seeing it completely wrong. They are seeing it completely wrong, right? So that's one thing that is missing. Another thing that is missing is the concept of value. Value is missing from there, right? Value is missing from there. Please give me a minute. My sincerest apology. Can anybody hear me currently? Can anybody hear me? All right, great.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so like I was saying, what what are the things that we're missing for what our parents understood about income, right? We are not even talking about money generally now. Money talks about investment, savings, and stuff like that. We are basically talking about income. What are the things that our parents missed out of income, right? They missed perspective, right? Perspective being the fact that I can tell you that if you know how to write code, and I know how to write code, do you understand that the amount of money I can make and the amount of money you can make is not only dependent on the amount of time, skill, knowledge, and effort we put in. It also depends on how I can shape perspective around what I do. Let me give you an example now. Say I use the gym very well, right? And when I go to the gym and I get, say, a bottle of water, it sells for 200 in the gym. This is not a motivational thing, right? It sells for 200 in the gym, right? But when you go outside, it sells for less. It sells for 150. Okay, at the gym, it sells for 250. Outside, it sells for 200. But when you come to a restaurant like West City, it sells for 500. You see the same item, the same brand, the same thing. If you go to, say, you go to a club, it sells for 1,000. If you're at the airport, it sells way more than that. So that means in this game of income, it's not only about what you do, how you do it, the skill that you have, the knowledge you have, the time you can dedicate, the effort you can put in. It's about how people are seeing what you are doing. So you are writing code, you are doing SEO, you are a designer, you're a data analyst, you product manager and everything. How are people seeing what you are doing? I think that's where those people talk about the concept of packaging, making sure that you lay a very good first impression on people. Because trust me, one thing that our parents didn't understand is even if you're a mechanic, right? If you can shape people's perspective around what you do and make them feel like what you do is premium, they will pay you higher than another person. So I know a very good friend of mine is a mech bro, right? He's a mechanic actually. He fixes generator, he does home delivery. But I'm telling you that what this guy make averagely is competing with What this guy is making averagely is between what first 3 years of tech bro is making. I can tell you for that. He's making, unless you're an outlier tech bro, he's making more than what you're making, right? Because when this guy shows up to go and fix your gen, it doesn't show up in a dirty clothes. It shows up wearing designer. Not because he's outdoing himself, but it shows up in a way that you know that this is not a regular mechanic on the street. He shows up knowing that I know what I do. He's speaking with you, speaking English. He's speaking with you, he's telling you what's wrong with this and this. Oh, when you tell me your gen is doing this and this, tell you, oh, this might probably be the issue and all and all. At the end, by the time he fixes your stuff, he gives you things you need to do so that it doesn't happen again. He tell you when you need to check this and this. It's basically look like is from abroad servicing your engine. So at the end of the day, you when it tell you that it's going to charge, say 20K for something, even you, before he even charge you, even you just listening to him conversing with you, already know that you are paying premium. So perspective determines how much you can make. Perspective, how people see what you are doing, really determines how much you can make, your income. Then the next thing is value, right? It's not only about having the effort, the energy, having the time, having the skill to do something, then having the knowledge to do it. What kind of value are people getting from what you're doing? It goes a long way on how much you can make. So let me give you an example. There was a time we were having some issues with a designer. So I had to tell the entire team that, please, understand this thing. It's not only about coming up with a design. It's not only about posting the design online. Every activity that we are doing as a business, as an individual, should tie up to our ability to make money. If you design a flyer now and it's fine, and we don't make money from the flyer, it's just a fine flyer. So that means that flyer did not really deliver value to the business. You get the idea? So if you're a developer, a designer, a tech bro, anything, whatever you are doing, your skill, your time, your skill, your knowledge, should be able to deliver value to people. Because we are very, very frank with ourselves. The money that we see around is just a database. In Elon Musk's word, money is just the cash that we see around. It's just a database for storing value. It's just a database of storing value. There's a lot of value moving around. Value is in selling goods and services, right? So money that we see is just a database of storing amount of value that you've accumulated. So that's how you can have money in paper. You can have money showing on your phone, right? Money is just a database for value. So what the world actually work on, the world revolves around value. The world revolves around value. So whatever you're doing, either you are writing code, you are doing anything, whatever you are doing, you should be able to deliver value. And the more value you deliver to people, the more money you can make, right? So say you're a designer and you're working for me. If you do a very nice design and I post it online and I don't get any sales, I mean, you did something, but for me, I feel like maybe next time, maybe it's not worth doing a big design. But say I don't do any design, I just post on my status, WhatsApp status, I just type and I still make money. Before I consider hiring you next time to do a design, I would think I could actually just type it on my status. If I can make the same money I'm making typing on my status, why do I have to pay a designer to design a fancy flyer for me? Do we get the idea? So it's not only about the skill and all, it's about the value that people are getting. So now this is where the perspective comes in. There's something about value. The perceived value of something change. You can change perceived value of your service, your products, your skill, or anything, or even an individual based on something. So say you see somebody on the street you meet somebody on the road wearing a suit and maybe coming out of a car. There's a way you perceive them that they are worth something compared to just somebody wearing maybe a short knicker, a very dusty leg, moving around. Not that you perceive them as not being human being, but you just perceive them that, I mean, this guy is just a regular guy moving around the streets. So perspective and value, when you make a combo of them, can change how much you actually make, right? Then another thing that is missing that apparently didn't teach us about income is the concept of types of income, right? So we all know that, oh, I mean, if I learn a skill now and I get a job, maybe working for a company in US, they pay me in dollar, the exchange rate is, I mean, it's interesting now. By the time I convert $1,000 to Naira, that's about 1.6 or 1.7 million per month. I mean, I'm a big boy, but is that the only way you can make money? That's one of the things that apparently teach us. There are types of ways, there are different ways you can make money. So those are the things that are missing from what our parents knew about income. So when you talk about the types of income, what are the types of income that are available? This is the blueprint. This is the actual blueprint that we're talking about. What are the types of income that are available, right? The types of income. One, we have active income. Two, we have passive income, and we have residual income. These are the things that our parents didn't know. I can tell you that 80% or 90% of Nigeria parents, they only work around this place. This is the only place where they make money. They don't make money from here. They don't make money from here. That's why they get tired at the end of the day, right? So let's work around it. So we've spoken about some things that can change how much you make, right? Factors that affect how much you make. We talk about your skill, your time, your knowledge. What else? Skill, time, knowledge, and effort, right? And we've talking about things that are missing, the perspective, the amount of value you are bringing to the table, and the types of income. So now let's talk about the type of income. The first type of income is active income. So active income basically is that type of income that you make from working for somebody. It's not only when you're an employee that you make active income. No, that's the mistake that most Nigerians make. They think if you have a 9 to 5 job, or you freelance, or you work for somebody and they call you, oh, that's my developer, that's my this, and you have a title in the company, that's when you're making active income. No, you can actually be a business owner and you are still in the active income category. That is very possible. You can be a business owner and still be in the active income category. It is very, very possible, right? It's very, very possible. So the concept of active income is simple. It's just income. The definition of active income is the income that you make from activities that you are directly involved with. That's how I would define it. Not incomes you make from working for somebody. No, it's not really about working for somebody. It's about how much involvement you have in that income. So say, for example, now I'm a developer. So for me to get paid as a developer, I have to write code. So I have to write code. I have to actively open my laptop, write code, join meeting and stuff. I'm involved 90% of the time, right? If not 100% of the time. That is active income. It's not about just working for somebody. Another example that will clarify that it's not about working for somebody, it's about how involved you are. How involved you are in the process is another thing. Let me give you another example. Say you're an online vendor now. You don't work for anybody. You can call yourself a CEO, right? But are you making active income or passive income? It's active income. Actually, it's active income, because for you to make money as an online vendor, you have to post on your socials for your customers to see it. And when they see it, they have to place order. When they place order, you have to confirm their order, check what they are doing, check the sizes, check the color that they want. You chat with them. By the time you chat with them, you take their order, they make payment into your account. You confirm manually that they've made payment into your account. Then you go message your vendor that you did so. You confirm with your vendor, you make payment to your vendor, and your vendor ships it to your customer, right? You are involved in the whole process. Then by the time your vendor ships it to your customer, you drop your customer number for the driver, you follow up, make sure that your vendor gets the entire stuff. Your customer gets the entire stuff, then you follow up with them if it's the right size, if they like what they got, you try to get feedback from them. Throughout the entire process, you were involved. Throughout the entire process, you were involved. But do you work for somebody? Do you work in somebody's company? No. You work for yourself. But what you make is active income. It's as simple as that. So the concept of active income, just like the way people push it that, oh, it's when you work for somebody. No. Active income is not only when you work for somebody. Active income depends on how much you are involved in the process of generating that money. If you are involved more than 80%, it's not active income again. It's basically active income. It's basically active income. Okay, all right. So that's the concept of active income. So it's not about working for somebody somewhere or anything. It's about how involved you are in the process of making the money, right? So then let's go to the second one, passive income, right? Passive income is it's the type of income that you make from, say, being involved a little less than this first side. So let's give an example. So say you're a developer now, right? You work for a company, you write code for them, you do a lot of things for them. That's active income, right? But when you want to shift from the active income category to the passive income, as a developer, you could come up with, say, plugins for Chrome, for browsers. You could do that, put it online, and people buy the plugins or the extensions. They buy it, right? You don't actually have to be messaging people every day and say, oh, come and buy my plugin. They could just see your plugin when you're searching online, or maybe you just set up a system to distribute your plugin, and you're not actively writing the plugin. Every time somebody requests for the plugin, you don't have to write the plugin all over again. It's there already. You've done, you set up the system, you just download and they pay you. Or maybe it's a WordPress template that you've written, you just buy the template and they pay you. So that's passive income. That's the difference. The difference is active income, you are actively, like, you are in the process. Why passive income is, say you are 50% in the process. You develop a system or a product initially, say you write a book, or maybe you write a code for maybe a software, you start selling it and all, right? That is the passive income side, right? So it's all about how involved you are. So when somebody is talking about, oh, you work for somebody, you work in a company and all, right? You're a 9 to 5. You can be a 9 to 5 and still be on the same level with somebody that owns a business, if you guys are in the same category of income. So it's not about how you are making money, it's about the category that you are in now, not who you work for, anything, right? Then the last part is the residual income. Residual income simply deal with the type of income that you make with very little or no involvement at all. So let me give you an example now. So say, what is the best example for this? What's the best example for it? Okay, say I designed a flat, say I designed the art cover, right? Oh, let's do it this way. Residual income is this. Let me give you an example. I think everybody knows Nike, right? The person that designed Nike logo, the designer was paid, I think, $50 at that point. Then the person was $50 at the point the person designed the logo, right? And that is active income. Then the person was giving 500 shares of Nike as at that point, as a reward, as an additional reward. As of now, 500 shares of Nike, it's worth millions of dollars. So that way, the person has a residual income. Is the person designing Nike logo every time again? No. The design was done once. The person made active income of $50. The person was given 500 shares, but now the person can still be making residual and passive income, because owning Nike share currently worth over millions of dollars, be giving you dividend, and you can actually sell the Nike income as well to cash out in millions. You see the difference? So that's what differentiates the types of income that you are making. So whatever you are doing currently, no matter how much you are making or where you are making money from, you have to look at yourself. Okay, am I making active income currently, or I'm making passive income, or I'm making residual income? So if you now intend to achieve financial freedom, you have to now work your way around getting all of this type of income in your arsenal. It's not only about just working and making money. You be a freelancer, you do something, you have been making so much money, yeah. But if you stop working today, is money going to come into your account tomorrow? No. If you stop working today, is money going to come in from residual income, from passive income? No. Okay, let me give you an example now. Let me give you an example of passive and active income from my own personal experience. So say I talk about finance and I do financial analysis for people, right? So if I do financial analysis for you, say I charge you 300,000, right? I charge 300,000 to do that, but I can't be doing that every day. There's a limit to what I can do. Say I even get, say, 500 clients in a day. I can't serve all of the 500 because my time, energy is limited, right? So say in this kind of call now, we're having this conversation and I'm recording this call. But I decide to record this call and set it up now, put it, say, on Stellar, put, say, $1 there. It's not big. But if people keep stumbling on that thing, that recording, say 100 people stumble on that recording and they pay $1, that's $100. If I multiply that $100 by the current exchange rate, that's something. You get the concept of active and passive income now. I've done it once. I'm recording this webinar once, right? Or there was a video I was even recording earlier this morning, say around 6:30. It's about how to read income statement for business owner. Yeah, let's use that, right? So I do financial analysis for you. I can consult for you and tell you, oh, this is how you can manage your income statement and stuff like that as a business. But now I'm recording an entire video of how you can manage your income statement, how you can create income statement by yourself as a business owner. By the time I upload that, say, on the platform, and I ask you to pay 5,000 for it, I don't have to be here every day to be teaching people how to read it, how to do it. They get the recording, they get it done. I deliver value to them without actually being there, right? And I get paid 5,000. The amount might be small, but it's something because I'm not constantly involved in the process, right? Another way that it could become residual income is, say I put the video on YouTube now, and it start blowing up, as start having millions of views. At certain point, YouTube will start paying me. I recorded the video maybe 2 years ago. YouTube will start paying me. You get the concept of active and passive income now. So that's basically how it works. So that's one of the things that our parents did not really understand. I mean, say our parents were civil servants, they go to work 9 to 5, they come back, they get salary, but they didn't have passive income. Maybe some of them had a little shop by the side. But at the end of the day, it's still active income, because if they don't go to the shop for 2 weeks straight, it's going to crash, right? That's the concept of passive income. And residual income is something that you might not even need to touch at all. It's just bringing in you money. So whatever you are doing currently to increase how much you're making, for you to be able to even achieve financial freedom, I think the goal for everybody is to achieve financial freedom. For you to be able to achieve financial freedom, you have to start here. This is where everybody starts. So if somebody is telling you that don't work for anybody, don't get a job, just start your business. No, even if you start your business, you will still be working in your business. Like you could still be the what's it called, the barman, the mixologist in your own restaurant, but you own the fucking restaurant, right? So you are still in the active income category. At the end of the day, you figure out how to employ people to work for you or create systems to work for you, and from there, it becomes passive income. By the time you figure out another system to make it, take less of your time, it becomes residual income. So your goal is, if you want to achieve financial freedom, find different. It can be in the same vertical, in the same category, the same industry. It can even be the same skill that you are using currently to make money. Just find what you can do. What can I do? What can I give to people at the active income category? What can I give to people at the passive income category? What can I give to people at the residual income category? Oh, I'm an SEO person. Can I record a video on how a small business owner can optimize maybe their SEO or their page or their website to get more sales? You record the video, make it, well structured, and or maybe it's a course, or you say 10 minutes, 30 minutes stuff, put it on Seller, put a payment gateway of say 2,000 naira there. It's as easy as that. That's passive income. You don't actually have to be there every time for people. All you have to do is just maybe talk about it on your status that, oh, I was dealing with a client and so on how you can use SEO to promote, even an online vendor, I can use to achieve more sales and all. Then at the end of your entire story, put the link to your product there. It's still passive income at that place, because you talk about it a little bit to make sales. You get people attentions. You point them to the direction. They go buy the product. You make 5,000. The 5,000 is small compared to maybe 1 million they are making per month. But if you continually doing that and it blows up, and you get to the stage where 100 people are buying that recording in a month, 100 multiplied by 5,000, that's 500,000. So that means if you have 500,000 coming into you, you can, even if you don't get the gigs that you're working on to make ₦1 million per month, the 500,000 is still sustaining you. That's how the rich basically think. That's what makes the rich rich. It's not only about, oh, they have big money or something, right? So this is basically how the rich think, right? When you look at the rich, if you look at this image now, we have the salary, the poor guys and the middle guys and the rich guys, right? The poor guys have only one source of income, which is basically salary, is active income. You have to go to job to work every day. But when you look at the rich guys, they have rental income. So that means they accumulate some certain amount of money, develop a property, then they rent it out. So if you have a property that you rent out, it is passive income, because you don't have to be there every day. Because you are giving the person an apartment, all you have to do is maybe just go check it maybe every 3 months, and the person would pay rent as long as the apartment is in good condition. So you see that the rich guys have different incomes in their income category. And it's not only about having different incomes. It's not only about having multiple streams of income. You can have multiple streams of income and everything is still passive income. If you check these guys now, rental income is passive income. Dividend is passive slash dividend is passive slash residual income. Interest is passive income. You see that royalty there, it is completely residual income. It means that you could collaborate with somebody to write a book. Say somebody is writing a book on how to make money. You could collaborate with the person. Say, oh, you're writing a book on how to make money. I'm an SEO expert. Let me write a chapter for you in that book on how to make money with SEO. So say your book is 10 chapters and I'm adding one chapter to you, that makes 11 chapters. So if you make $10 from your book, you sell your book for $10, you give me $1. That's residual income. That's royalty. You get royalty from just one chapter that you wrote in the book, right? So that's how the rich guy thinks that makes them to able to achieve financial freedom and build wealth. So it's not only about having multiple streams of income, right? It's about understanding that the money you make has a lot of factors that affect it, and you have to work your way down into that residual category. I mean, can you wake up tomorrow morning and say travel for 1 good week, not working, not touching your laptop, not touching anything, and you still guarantee that how much you made last month, you're still going to make exactly the same amount? For say majority of the people, the answer is no. And why is the answer a no? Because all of us work in the active income category. I'm a developer, I'm a financial analyst, I'm a designer. I make say £1,000,000 per month, right? But if I stop working, say for an entire month, I'm not touching my laptop, am I going to make that 1 million? No, because all my income, maybe I do consultation, maybe I write code, I do this and this. I might be doing 3 different things. But when you categorize all of them, they fall in the active income category. So that means when I stop actively engaging this thing, my income reduce and stop. But say I have other means that I can get people to actually do something for me, it would become passive income, right? So let me give you an example of what I try to do. So at this point, I think it's more of example, right? I think, yeah, at this point, it's more of practical example. So let me give you an example to support this. So last year, I learned how to do registration for businesses, right? Do business registration, incorporation, or so I incorporated my own business, I registered my own business and stuff, right? So at a certain point, things got busy, and I was like, if I'm getting people to, people are requesting that I should register their business for them, and I'm going to get paid for it, which the margin is very good. I mean, there's money in it, and I'm busy. How can I solve this problem? Because registering business for people now, for me, is currently active income. So what's the best way to solve it? So what I did is I found a solution around it. Get somebody that's, oh, I'm literally telling you the playbook that I use. I'm literally telling you the playbook that I use, nothing hidden. So what I do is I get somebody that is a lawyer that does that full time and cut a deal with the person. I'll bring people that would register, that want to register business. You give me X percentage of whatever the profit is. You do the registration. What I do is I go find the people, speak with them, tell them the price, negotiate with them, collect all their information, organize it in such a way that it's easy for you to read. I send you the information, send you what you need. You do the registration. We make the money, the person pay the profit, we split it in that particular ratio. I make money. Now, that particular service that I've rendered before, it's in the active income category. But by just collaborating with that person, I just moved it from the active income category into the passive income category. Fine, I might not be making all the profit that I was making before, but for me now, it's easier and faster for me because I can be sleeping and there's a registration going on for somebody. I don't have to be actively involved. Now I've reduced the level of involvement that I have in that process, in the process of delivering that service to people. Now, it's for me, that thing is basically passive income. It's not active income again. And I don't have to be involved with it. I just send you the details. When it's done, it's done. So that's an example, just to make it very realistic for us. All right. Okay. Yeah. So since we are now understand the types of income now, there's something we still also need to understand that determines how much you can make, right? Is the fact that the amount of effort that you put or whatever you do, right? Your effort is directly not proportional to, it's not directly proportional to your reward. It's not directly proportional to the income you make. So the effort that you put into something is not directly proportional to the money you make from it. It's a fact that you have to come to realize, that you have to make peace with, that whatever you do is not directly proportional to how much you make. Let me give you an example. I'm not painting anybody bad. We are just being factual, right? Tony Emimelu is the owner of, he owns the majority in the UBA, right? He owns majority stake in the UBA. There's somebody tomorrow is Monday, there's a teller or a bank, whatever the person is, that works in a UBA bank, maybe Lagos, that will wake up as early as 4 a.m. tomorrow, go to a UBA bank to resume his duty and work 9 to 5, then close, go back home in traffic and all. Maximum that the person is maybe getting paid is maybe 300,000. And the shareholders, not only Tony Emimelu, the shareholders of UBA at the end of the month are making millions, if not billions. That's because your efforts in the real world, to be very sincere, is something that our parents didn't want to tell us. They didn't just tell us because, I mean, how do you tell your child that you are telling that the world is fair, if you be good to people, be nice to people, that the amount of effort that you put into something is not directly proportional to how much they make. So if you can be putting insane amount of effort into something, and somebody that is putting less effort is making way more than you, right? I mean, it's crazy. You can't sit down a 10-year-old child that you put in 10 efforts. Somebody that's putting in, say, 2 efforts can make more than you. But that's how the world works. And it's not because it is bad. It's not because the word is bad or the word is unfair. It's because of something called levels of value, right? So let me bring it to you. We said something around factors that affect how much you make. We said the skill that you have, your effort, your time, and your knowledge, right? When you start changing some of these items, it would change the level of value that you deliver to people. You know, we said something that one thing our parents missed was value, the concept of value, that it's not only about money coming to you. Money is coming to you because you're able to deliver value to somebody. If what you did, say you design a website and it's not valuable, you design a flyer and it's not valuable to the person, they will not pay you. That's why if a freelancer on Upwork or on Fiverr, so you can do a job for a client and they will refuse to pay you. They might even report you because to them, they didn't perceive it as something valuable to them. But if you do something that is valuable to a client, maybe on Upwork, on Fiverr, or anywhere, and they are blown away, they're like, wow, they would even leave you tips because it was valuable to them. So the concept of bringing money to yourself, attracting money to yourself, is because you are delivering value to somebody. So there's something that you now need to understand about this concept of value, that the value you are delivering to somebody has different stages. There are different stages of value. The first stage is the stage of implementation. Implementation means that you can deliver value to people by just implementing, getting things done. You can deliver value to people that way, right? You can deliver value to people by just implementing. You really can do that. I mean, somebody wants to host a website, you get all their details, the login account and everything. You set up the website. What you just did is you just implemented, and your implementation deliver value to the person. Another thing you could do is to deliver value to somebody, right, and still make money. You could organize, right, or coordinate. So say you're a project manager. People are, I mean, when the role of project manager came up at the early days of project management, it felt like something that was not necessary because there's a developer, there's a designer, they can work together and get the job done. But at a certain point, people discovered that you need somebody to coordinate all these efforts and deliver real value to it. So that means you're talking to the designer, you're talking to the developer, you're talking to the backend guys, you're a project manager, you're organizing the project. So you're delivering value by just organizing people, resources, and their efforts to deliver value to the clients. Or maybe you're in construction now. The guys that do the bricklayers, they are the implementation phase, right? What they do is they come, they mix sand with cement and everything, they arrange the blocks and all. They are implementing, they are building the house. They basically work at the implementation phase. That's why they make least in the construction industry. The bricklayers, the guys carrying the cement, they make least in the construction industry because they are working in the implementation level of value. By the time you go up, that's when you have, say, maybe the project manager or the site manager or the engineer or the civil engineer, or any other thing that you call it. Those one are the one in the implemented at the organization stage, right? Yeah, maybe there's one site engineer that is managing maybe like 10 different bricklayers together. So by the time the engineer comes on, like, engineer, action, come by. The guy is not managing all of them, telling that, oh, you can't do this way, you can't do this way. Because the guy has, the reason why the guy is organizing them, right, to deliver more values, because the guy has more knowledge, more skill than them. So in place where those guys are spending more effort to deliver value, spending more time on the site to deliver value, the guy is spending more knowledge, more skill, because he has spent, say, 5 years in school to understand engineering. He knows that if you put the blocks like this, it will fall down after 5 years. So it's when they come on site and I see a bricklayer that does not know that, arranging the block, that we tell the bricklayer that, no, you can't put the block this way because I don't want it this way. He might not tell you why he does not want the block that way, but he understands from the knowledge. Knowledge is a very important thing. From the knowledge and the skill that is acquired, that it does not work that way. That's why somebody will pay a site engineer 500,000 and above to manage the site for them, why they pay a bricklayer maybe 15,000 per day. It's not only about putting effort, putting time. You see, those remaining factors, your time, your knowledge and skill, can literally change the game for you when it comes to income. So where people are competing around, you can put more time, you can put more effort, right? I mean, the Indian guys, they are working, they are freelancing. The Indian guys can put their rate, say at $1 per hour. They'll put in more time than you, right? They put in more effort than you. So somebody's working at what $1 per hour. They can usually work for 24 hours to make $24. But because you have more knowledge, maybe you have more experience, you have more skill, you can put your rate at say $10 per hour. So where the person is working 10 hours to make $10, you only need to work $1 because you know more. The same thing with the construction guy, right? So let's go to the next level of value. The next level of value is communication. Communication is the stage where you necessarily don't have to manage people. You don't have to be the one implementing. You just communicate an idea to people. Communicate an idea to people and you make money from it. Let me give you an example using the same construction, right? So say you're an architect now. You have developed the plan and all. Literally, an architect does not have to go to the site if it's not necessary. You don't have to go to the site. But what does an architect do? Say maybe you are the client. You imagine that you want to build a very nice mansion in your village. Maybe you are one able person. You want to build a very nice mansion in your village. The architect would catch that vision, that imagination that you have in your head. They would go and develop a plan for it, and they would communicate the plan to you. The architect will not follow you to your land. They will not be taking the grant for you. But at the end of the day, will you pay the architect millions? Definitely, because they are working at a higher level of value than the bricklayer that is lifting the brick 9 to say 6 p.m. in the evening. You get the idea? That's the difference. You see, they have the game plan change because of more knowledge, more skill. So it's not only about the effort and time now. Then when you now go to another level, the other level is now imagination. Before we go to that imagination level, I don't know if anybody know this guy. The guy is Vusi Tembokwayo. He's one of the highest, he's literally the highest paid motivational speaker in the continent. Yeah, in Africa, he's the highest paid person. So what does he do? You invite him maybe for a webinar, for any event. He's supposed to deliver maybe a keynote, or he does keynotes basically. He doesn't do masterclass again, I think. He does keynote speeches. He delivers a keynote speech in your event, and he charges $250,000. He doesn't lift anything. He's not going to come to your event a day before and help you to knock nails, to arrange the chair, to arrange the interior. He shows up that day, talks for 30 minutes or 1 hour, and his check is complete, $250,000. He gets as paid as high as that. So it's not only about implementing, organizing people. There's a place where you can communicate ideas. There's a level, there's a society that understand that. It's not only about ideas. It's not only about so there's a society that understand that it's not only about implementing, getting things done. It's not only about organizing people, managing people to get things done. Can you communicate something to people? There's a way that you can communicate ideas to people and to literally change reality. There's a way somebody can speak to you. There's a way I'm speaking to you currently now. That at the end of the day, it changes the way you are thinking. It changes the way you are working. Me speaking to you now, I'm literally communicating. I'm working at I'm functioning at the communication level of value, right? I'm communicating ideas to you that will be changing your mind, that would change your reality if you allow it in the next 5 days. Because you start looking at how can I make money without actually getting involved? Can I be making money without actually getting involved? You start looking at that. That's another level. So there's another level like that can be delivering value. So at the end of this webinar, some people feel like, wow, that was very valuable. I really appreciate that I actually attended that webinar, that I didn't miss it. I didn't give you money. I didn't give you book. I didn't give you paper. What I did was I communicated with you, and that communication carried value from me to you. So if I'm supposed to do this for somebody, say I'm doing this physically in say a boot camp, or say somebody invites me to say Lagos or Abuja to come and talk about this same thing, I can literally charge the person $1 million. So I could talk about this same thing for 1 hour and charge the person $1 million. Is it fair that I'm making ₦1 million per hour for talking to people? I mean, it's fair because by the time you leave that place, obviously you'll be blown away. You will understand that this is valuable. You get the idea. Then the next level of value is imagination. Is the stage where you come into, you think about something, you communicate with people. There's a way you communicate with somebody, right? And you start moving things around, and people will pay you for it. Say, for example, Mark Zuckerberg, right? He function. You know why he's richer than everybody? Why he'll be richer than everybody that is in Facebook company? Because he has functioned at all of these levels of value. That's why employees always feel like it's not fair. People feel like the guys that are rich, it's not fair for them to be rich. Actually, it's very fair because when you look at it, they have functioned at all of these levels of value. Let's take Mark Zuckerberg, for example. He functioned at the imagination level. He imagined that people could actually talk over internet. So he imagined Facebook. He communicated the idea to people that supported him, people that were his teammates, that were coding with him, right? He organized them, make sure that everybody's getting their job done. Then he also implemented, he wrote the code until the company was as big as that, met with investors and all. So he had functioned at all of this level of value to bring Facebook to life. So he started from imagining that Facebook is even possible. Elon Musk, is it fair that Elon Musk is richer than 99% of the world? Yes, it's fair because the guy is functioning at all of this level of value. The guy has imagined that there's going to come a time in this planet where rockets will go into space and it will come back without breaking down. He imagined it. He communicated this to his team member. He organized his team member to work on it. He also worked on it. There was an interview of his that I was watching earlier today. That was like, there was a time that he was sleeping in the factory. He was sleeping under his table because he wanted his people, his employees, to see that he's working every time. So an employee will feel like, I'm working in SpaceX, he's paying me some amount of money. He's making way more than that. Yes, is it fair? It's fair because he's working, he's the one that will imagine the next future for Tesla car. The next thing that will make Tesla win. The next thing that will make Tesla car be like, wow. You see Tesla and you're like, wow. He's the person that will imagine it. It's the person that will communicate it to investor to put money into developing that future. The same person that will organize the team, the key team members to start working on it. The same person that will monitor and implement it. So does it make sense if you make more money than 99% of the world? I'll leave you to answer that question. All right. So when you understand that this is not only about what you are doing, it's not about the time, the skill, right? You have to go higher to make more money. You can put in more time, more skill, more knowledge, and more effort, right? But there's a place that you get to, it looks like a ceiling. There's a ceiling that you get to that. What you need to break that ceiling is you have to understand levels of value. You have to move. There's a limit to what you can make in this implementation level. When you get to that limit, you have to understand that you have to break into the second category. Then when you get to the limit, you have to break into this category and break into this category as well. All right. Then I think the last thing that we'll talk about is the pyramid of reward, which is what I already spoke about, right? The pyramid of reward simply just means that because you're working hard does not mean you make as much money as somebody else. Because at the end of the day, it's not about working hard, it's about the level of value that you deliver to people, right? So when you understand all of this thing that we've spoken about understanding income, this is basically like a blueprint that I'm writing in front of us. When you understand all of these blueprints, how income really work, how making money really work, that is not only about just writing code or maybe applying for a job, get the job, do your daily quota and get to go back home, get paid, say 500,000. It's not only about that because, I mean, there's a lot to be made, right? It's not only about it. When you understand all of this, you can now channel everything that you understand now, create a blueprint with it, and start thinking about income diversification. Because if you want to diversify your income, it does not make sense if you are diversifying income and all of your income is still in the active income category. For everybody that is following things, if you are diversifying your income and your income is you have say 3 income streams and everything is in the active income category, there's a limit to what you can do. Let me give you an example. Say you don't want to work for somebody. You started a business. Say you started a clothing business, right? That's active income. You have to work in a clothing business to make money. You started a restaurant. You have to go supervise the restaurant, build a restaurant every time to make money. Then you started, say what else again? You started a drop shipping business. You have to do managing the entire process. All of these things, you are the one doing it. You have multiple streams of income, but all of your multiple streams of income, you have diversified, right? All of your multiple streams of income are still in the same category of active income. You see why people will say they are busy, they don't have enough time. But you notice that these people are rich. Yes, you can be running all of these 3 businesses, making a lot of money, but if you're busy, you will not have enough time to even enjoy the money because you didn't understand that as you are building different streams of income, all of these streams of income should not be in the active income category alone. Find some that will be in the active, find some that will be in the passive, find some that will be in the residual, so that by the time you work hard here, you work a little bit here, you work a little bit at the bottom, and you're making more money, right? So this would help you to understand how you can diversify. That is not only about setting multiple streams of income, right? I mean, let's use this example again. I think we'll wrap up now. Let's use the example again. Like the example I used before, right? The example I used before, say you are the person that do say you do drop shipping, online vendor, right? What you can do is, so by the time you started in the active income category, right? I'm going to use this to explain all of these categories together, and how you can do it. By the time you started in this category, the first thing you did is start posting on your WhatsApp status. Maybe somebody added you to these online vendor groups, right? Start posting different shoes, different clothes on your WhatsApp status. People are buying from you, right? But every time people need to buy from you, you have to be online. You have to be on WhatsApp. So you can't sleep. If you sleep, there's an order that is going out, that is missing out. So you take the order, you take the person's size, the shoe size, the color, you send everything to them. You're the one sending the images of the shoes available to them. You send the price to them. If it's a client like me, I will ask you to send all of the shoes that you have that day. If I pick one, I might even not even pick that day. I feel like I don't like this. Let me find another one. Then you look around again, you come back to me and stuff like that. Then by the time you get that order from me and make payment, you forward the money to your supplier. You have to monitor your supplier. That supplier supply the right shoe, the right shoe, not only the right shoe, the right size of the shoe, the right color. So by the time you get to your clients, you follow up, you get feedback. You're doing something, but in the active income category. But another person can do the same thing. Say somebody like, say, Peter. Peter can do the same thing, but in the passive income category. He has done it for, say, he has done that for like, say, 2 months or so. He has gathered enough people. And I figured that, I mean, this is active income. Let me make this thing passive income. And decide to say, okay, let me develop a website. That's where the concept of e-commerce came in. Develop a website or maybe a Shopify store where people can, you don't have to come into your WhatsApp DM to buy. All you have to do is just post some of these things, put the link to your, maybe your Shopify store, whatever it is, or your website or something. They go on the website, they can see all of the shoes that you have available. They see all of the shoe, they see all of the sizes available, they see the color. So there is no place of asking you, do you have this color? Do you have yellow color? Do you have lemon color? Do you have black and blue? Do you have yellow and gray? They can see all of the colors and sizes available. It's up to them to not, oh, I like this, let me buy. They buy, they pay. So at that point, then you've emitted the entire price of having a conversation with you. When they buy, you could have a system actually. You might not even be imported from China. You can have a system that takes the person's order, take it to your WhatsApp, and you just send it to your vendor straight. It has limited the price of you doing all this talk. At that point, it's becoming a little bit of passive income. So you figure out a way in such a way that you don't have to send the stuff to your supplier. What you just do is the person make the order. The order directly go to the WhatsApp of your vendor. And your vendor already know what to do. They supply the right thing to the person. So that means you can literally be sleeping this evening and somebody is buying from you. So you are doing the same business, selling shoes, selling clothes, but the category, the type of income that you are making from that business has changed drastically. One is passive income. Second is one is active income. Second is passive income, and the third one is residual income. So you can literally be in Maldives, you can be in South Korea, be enjoying yourself for vacation, and people in Nigeria are still buying shoes from your platform. People in Nigeria are still buying stuff from your platform. Is it going to be easy? Obviously not, but you have to figure it out. So that's the concept of the types of income. And when you understand this and you apply this, it makes making money way easier for you. It makes making money way easier for you, right? So I think at this point we'll just go to questions and answer. I hope we've been able to learn something really valuable from this session. All right, great. All right. So if you have any question at this point, ask. We should have made it very interactive. I wanted to make sure that everybody got what we are discussing. So if you have any question at this point, this would be the best time to ask your question. All right, great. If you can hear me and you learned something this session, just give me a thumbs up, or you can drop it in the comment section that you follow through and you really gain value from this session. All right. So if you really learned something from this session and you gain value, give me thumbs up. Let me know that you gain value. You gain value from this session. I mean, thumbs up, emoji, give something, right? That you really gain value from this session. So it's not only just about, wow, I'm getting a lot of reaction. Interesting. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Great. So, all right. So do we have questions now? So now that we've affirmed that we learned something, we gain value from this session. Like I said before, right? The fact that you are giving me thumbs up that you gain value from this session means that if I charge you, say, 5,000 for this webinar, it's worth it, right? So is there somebody that will agree with me that if I charge you, say, how much? I mean, 5,000 is too small. So is there somebody that's going to agree with me that if I charge you, say, 10,000 for this session, now say at the end of this session, I'm saying you have the 10,000, pay me 10,000 for this. You think it was worth your 10,000? If you think it's worth your 10,000, give me an emoji, a reaction or something. If you think this was worth your 10,000, all right, so I have 1, 2, I have 3. Wow, interesting. So you now see that, wow, that's 4. That's interesting. So you now see that what we just discussed now, wow, interesting. So that means if I'm supposed to charge 10,000, I have about, oh, that's 5, 6 persons. So from this current webinar, I can make 60,000 naira now by just telling people to send 10,000 to my account because they got value from the webinar. So you see the idea that it's not only when you work physically or when you give somebody something that you can deliver value to them. You can deliver value by functioning at different levels of value: the implementation, the organization, the communication, and what? The imagination. So we just affirm with our reaction now. We just affirm that I functioned in the communication level of value, and it was worth 10,000 naira to each of us. Each of you could have paid me 10,000. Then multiply by 6. That's 60,000. If I multiply by the number of people that is on this call, 20, that's 200,000. So at the end of the day, I can go and do Oblate for this weekend, and that's 200,000. If I do the webinar again, that's another 200,000. If I focus on people in Kenya, do the webinar again for them, get 20 people or say 200 people, that's another 200,000 or 2 million naira. You see how you can make money? It's easy. We understand income, the blueprint of income. Making money is actually easier. All right, great. So I think we have questions. So let me take the questions now. All right, so okay. We have a lot of hands. So let me start with the chat. So what we'll do is we'll pick one question from, please don't put down your hand. We'll pick one question from the chat, then we'll pick one from the guys that are raising their hand. So let's get started with the chat. So the first question in the chat is, okay, David said, wonderful session. I appreciate the level of value, information, and organization. Oh, thank you very much, David. That's a comment. Then the first question is Father Appraise. He's saying that, can you expand a bit more about residual income? I would love to understand that mentality. All right, great. It's simple. So residual income basically deals with the type of income that you actually you're not doing anything. It can be like a one-time stuff, right? Let me give you an example now. I gave an example earlier. The person that designed Nike's logo, designed it for say $50 or so then, right? The person designed it for $50. The founder then thought they could reward the person with say 500 shares of 500, not 500,000, 500, 1 to 500, 500 pieces of Nike share as at that time. So that was the $50 was, say the $50 was passive income. 500 share was, we could say it's residual income now because the person actually does not have to do anything for Nike again. And if I have 500 shares of what's it called? If I have 500 shares of Nike now, with the dividend that Nike is paying, you type that in ChatGPT that if I have 500 shares of Nike now, how much will I be making in dividend? That's what residual income is. Residual income for that person is the person is not doing anything, right? It's the kind of income that you're trying not doing anything for you to make it. Let me give you an example. Say it's just that people are not really smart in this economy, right? Say you got lucky to design the cover for say the music of say somebody like Davido or Olamide. Instead of you to charge them to pay you for your design, your art cover, the music art cover that you're designing immediately, what if you tell Davido that for every $10 that you make from the music, you design the art cover for free. Say you're a very good designer and you got lucky to land that deal. You design the art cover for free, but instead of you to charge him, right, it would pay you out of $10 that you make, it will pay you say 0.5, 50 cents for every $10 that he makes from the music. You don't have to design the art cover again for Davido. Davido can literally take the music and have a billion stream before the end of the year. So that multiply that 50 cents multiplied by how much Davido is going to be making on the music, say maybe on Spotify, Apple Music, on YouTube. That's the basic of residual income. It comes in form of say something like royalty and stuff like that. You get the idea? It's just something that maybe you do once and you don't have to do anything at all again. You just do it once, you don't have to do anything at all again, and people pay you for it. So maybe you write a book now. You can write a book, right? Collaborate with somebody to write a book and you're done. So say now I'm writing a book on financial literacy now, and you do something, you can write a chapter in the book and like, oh, you're an expert in this, say SEO. I want to talk about different ways you can make money in the 21st century, right? Right. And I'm like, you're an expert in SEO. I'm writing about how you can make money in SEO. I'll come to you, write a chapter for me, how you can make money in SEO, well detailed, that it's implementable. People will take actionable steps and they will make money to get results. And by the time I'm selling the book, I'm promising you that, say, out of the entire book, I have 10 chapters in the book. One of your own chapter is one, right? I'm telling you that for every $10 that we make from the book, I'll be giving you $1 because of one chapter that you own. That's residual income for you. You're not concerned about how we sell the book, how we do the marketing for the book. Your own is you wrote the chapter once. At the end of the day, by the time we sell 10 books, multiplied by $10, you know you're getting $10 without actually doing anything. And you keep getting that till you die. That's residual income. All right, I hope that answers Olade's question. All right, so Remilekun, please go for it. Raise your please unmute yourself and go for it.
Okay, good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. Like, seriously, I really enjoyed this class, but I have a question. So I've been trying to do exactly what you said, but I'm having difficulty in raising funds for my company and also employing people. Now, I have engaged some developer one time ago to build an application for my company, which later ended up being messed up. But the fact that I am also a developer didn't make them to run away with the code. They actually wanted to run away with the code. But because I also know about coding, right? So I was able to get those code back and pull down their tactics. So now my question is, I want to go into the educational aspect of AI. Educating young people, teaching them about AI, right? And I'm looking at following your blueprint that you have explained, like putting it online, then asking people to buy, which is common everywhere. Now, that industry has been polarized, like everybody is doing it. So how can I enter it as a startup, which don't have the money to compete with people like Coursera, people like all of these big tech companies? Now, how can I get into that kind of stuff with lesser income, with fewer workers?
All right.
That's one. And how can I become successful? Then you said something now about residual income, which I feel I have that ideology before, but I don't know how to go back. Will I meet my company's lawyer to help me draft an agreement in regards that, in such a way that, okay, we are AI companies, we will not collect money from you, we will do this for you, but you will be giving us share from your company? Will that be advisable? What if that company folds up, maybe in the next 1 year? So what can you say about that?
All right, so for the first question, how can you get started? I think what I would say is, but very honest, do what I'm doing exactly currently. Do what I'm doing currently. You know what I'm doing currently? Currently, we have about 20 people on this webinar. So I'm teaching people for free. You don't have to get paid immediately. Teach people for free about AI. See that they know that you know what you are saying. By the time you get 1,000 people to be on, find a way to get 1,000 people to know that you know what you are doing. It will explode from there. So currently, the newsletter community is on, say, the last time I checked before we started this webinar, is on 832 people. So currently, 832 people knows that I talk about personal finance and investing. But I keep doing that and say I have a course. I keep doing that for free now. The way I did this for free now. Let me ask you a question. Say tomorrow I come up with another webinar that is paid, and I'm talking about, we talk about income now, right? So I have another webinar that is paid, and we're talking about income again. But I'm saying that what we just talk about now is preamble. The next webinar that is going to be paid, say 25,000, is the real deal. Will you pay 25,000?
I will pay, sir.
So just do what I'm doing exactly. Get people to know that you can do this. You are good at it. Do it for free for them. Gather enough momentum around yourself. You'll find a way to make money out of it. So there's something that I discovered, right? That length to make money, in say in the creative space or maybe some space like that, there are three things that you need to understand.
Okay,
you need to understand that you have to there's something called content, valuable content, something that people can see and oh, this thing is valuable, it's useful to me, information and all content, right?
Yes, sir.
You gather community, create community around your content. Then three, when you have content, solid content enough that people know that this person is good at this thing. You have community, there's a lot of people that know about it. There's a way you find commerce in it. Those are the three C's. Content,
sorry,
commerce.
What's commerce, sir?
Exchange of goods and services.
Okay.
There's no way that I'm going to have, say, 5,000 people on my newsletter listening to me, say, every month, talk about personal finance and investing, business finance. 5,000 of them, I'm going to have them for 1 good year. I've been serving them content. I have a community, that's 5,000 people. There's no way I'm not going to find commerce there. That means I'm going to find something that I can sell to you, even if it's just $1. Right? The webinar that we had last year around 2025 financial blueprint. Some people listen to the recording and they paid 1,000. Even though I don't need the money, if I did the concept of what I'm telling you now, there's content. I've been talking about personal finance for a while. I had community around it. The moment I wanted to do that webinar, I didn't have to push that webinar like I pushed this one because I had the newsletter, I had the WhatsApp group where some of the members are there already. I just put it to the news. I didn't even push it to the newsletter. I think I put it to the WhatsApp community alone, and we had 30 people join December. And after December, I just put it on my status and on the community that if you miss the webinar, you can listen to it again. Send the link to them. I didn't even tell that it's paid. Just tell the link to them. You get there, you see a pay of 1,000 naira. Some people paid 1,000 naira to listen to it because they believe it's going to be valuable. If you listen to this again now, say you are in this webinar, like I said, you are in this webinar, and I'm telling you that I'm going to have a master class or another webinar that is paid on income. So I'm telling you that out of everything that I told you now, there's something that I didn't tell you guys about making money and income. And I'm going to teach you for 1 hour. You're going to pay 25,000 naira. I'm very sure out of everybody here, I'll get 5 people that will say, as long as they can afford it. That's the thing. As long as people can afford, they have the need. Another thing that will make people pay is 1, the need. 2, do they really have the capacity to pay for it? Do they have the capacity to pay for it? They have the need, they have the capacity, they'll pay. I'm telling you that out of this, I can find 5 people on this call now that will pay me 25,000 naira to attend a paid webinar on this same topic. Because if you attended this free one, you find enough value. What you're thinking in your head is, if this is free, if you get so much, say, let's assume that you got value from this. You got so much value from this and it's free. Imagine you're paying 25,000. What will I be saying in that call? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then the second part of the residual income, right? The residual income, you might not necessarily have to focus on it with the AI. There are other ways you can look at it. Say what's it called? Say there is a school currently. Say there is somebody that has we say like Coursera now. Is there a way you can host your course on Coursera? You don't have to start from scratch. Is there a way you can host your course on Coursera? Is there a particular school that teach dev skills, that teach things like that you can create a course and give it to them to add to their own bundle? Say, it could be for free. It could be that they are paying you a certain amount, maybe 1,000 royalty for every student that subscribe for their cohort or something. That's residual income already. Did that solve your problem?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much. All right, let's go back to the chat. Let's find another question to answer. The Bunny Joy, please, will there be a recording? Will there be a recorded audio? I didn't join earlier. I know I've missed a lot. All right, Joy. Yes, there's a recording, but just like I just said now, the recording, you might be free, you might not be free, but there's definitely a recording. We are recording. But if it's not free, it's maybe probably 1,000 or so. Right. Yeah. So let me take another question, since that question was straightforward. Okay, Olajuwon Oya Ludeya. I don't know if the person is still on the call. The person is asking, I've been saving to buy something. I've been saving to buy. I think I have enough, but I'm thinking whether it's wise to pour almost all my saving into it or hold on. I think to answer your question, what I would say is, will you get the ROI? Will you get a return on investment for it? In that everything that you are thinking, right? Okay, what's the best way to answer this? Right. So whatever you have saved for, you assume that is valuable. You perceive that is valuable. You perceive that is valuable to you, right? Now, it can be valuable to you, but not valuable financially. Say you want to buy a piece of clothes. It's valuable to you. You look nice. It gives you a very good impression outside. But financially, is it valuable? If you're spending 100,000 naira on clothes, it depends on what you're making. So if you're making 2 million, 100,000 on clothes is actually small, right? But if you are save up and you want to buy something, and you're thinking, should I buy it or hold on? I think what you now have to answer is, will that thing bring in more money for you? When you look at it, will it bring in more money for you? Will it enable you to actually make more money? If it will, you should actually go for it. You know why? Because one, even if it's going to make you more money, there's no guarantee that it's going to make you money. It's not like 100% guarantee. Say, for example, now you saved up to apply for a course on, say, data analytics. People are making millions as data analysts. But if you apply for the course, is it guaranteed 100% that you're going to make money as a data analyst? No, because it depends on a lot of things. You have to put in your effort and stuff like that. But the probability is there. Say 80% probability that you make money. So we are saving for something like that that would enable you to make money, or that will bring you more money. That's why I said return on investment, ROI, return on investment, right? You feel like the return on investment is there and the risk is in your favor, why not go for it? You would learn. So next time you would know whether to do it or not to do it. So whatever insights, whatever knowledge you have for it, I don't know what that thing is about, but whatever knowledge you have from it now, you would know whether it's smart to buy it. But with something like shoe, clothes, and all, I think it's I mean, it depends on how you want to feel at the end of the day, right? So okay, let's go to the person raising hand now. Faith Michael, please go ahead. Are you there? Faith Michael, are you there? You have your hand raised. I'm assuming that you have question. Hello, can anybody hear me?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
All right, it has unmuted
Hello.
his mic. Please, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me?
It seems like you are talking, but we can't hear you.
Please, can you hear me? I'm trying to know if you can hear me.
Oh, I can still notice that you are talking. It's showing that
Okay.
stuff that you are talking, but
So
we can't hear
my
you.
question is kind of
I think you have to type it out.
about
Maybe it's the mic or something that you are connected
between
to. We can't hear you at all.
when you learn a skill
Am I the only person that is not
and
hearing
now
me?
trying to monetize it. I think is a
Sir,
service
I think
based.
so. I can hear him.
You can hear him
Yes, sir.
clearly, right? Okay. Who else can hear him? Solomon can hear him.
I
Okay.
can. I can also hear him.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Ask your question.
Come
Mike
on.
Faraday would let me know what the question is because I can't hear you. But ask the question.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can't still hear you honestly.
I,
It's sounding low here.
Ask the question, then I'll probably relate the question.
All right. Ask the question. It will relate it to me. Okay. Okay, Faraday, please go for it.
All right. So
Faraday.
until it comes back, I have a question of mine. So
Okay.
you talked about passive income, residual income, active income.
Yeah.
So for someone like me, most of my skills is there's a problem with which one to decide to make, which one I'm going to decide to make the active income, the residual income, because most of the skills I have is, let me mention, like one is photography. I'm also into like music production. Then I'm also into like selling some stuff online. So is
Okay.
all of them actually requires my attention. So making one, like I have to make one residual. Like, is it that there are certain jobs you can make residual or passive, or you can make any type of work? Like these are skills I mentioned that require my attention. Yes, I have to be there to do all those things. So even managing time itself, you understand, I'm always busy, like you said. So it's skills that require me to be there. So how to make it passive, I don't know. It's going to be somehow.
Okay. So I think what you need to do is for your stage, what you need to do is figure out how you can make all of these skills, all of the skills that you have. There's no skill that you have that you cannot make passive. There's no skill that you have that you cannot make passive. Okay, let me show you something. Can you see what I'm saying? That's the restaurant floor, right? People are working currently.
No,
I can be done.
I can't.
Yeah, that's the restaurant. What say?
I can't see what you are displaying.
Oh, I thought you could see it. So, okay, let me answer your question this way. You can make all of your skills, you can make them passive income. You just need to figure out how. Let me give an example. For the photography now, how can you make it passive, right? Can you teach somebody how to do photography? Can you create, say, maybe you know how to edit? If you're a photographer and you know how to edit, definitely you would know how to edit on phone, right? Can you create maybe a course of photography? Can you create a tutorial on how to do phone photography, how to do phone editing, which for 1,000 people would buy it? That's passive income already, right? So by the time you are busy, maybe shooting a wedding, whatever it is they are shooting at the studio, somebody's paying 1,000 for how to edit on their iPhone that you created. Somebody's paying 1,000 for how to what you need to understand about camera. Somebody's paying this and this for this. You get the idea. Just find something that you can just find out. All of your skills can be converted into passive income. Just find out how, right? Then another thing is the same skill that the picture that you take now. I think I know of platforms where you can take pictures of, say, maybe this, you can take pictures and upload it to the platform and get paid when people download that picture. That's passive income, right? So that means maybe you're a photographer, you are traveling. While traveling, you could snap the picture of a landscape, or maybe you're in Abuja to say cover an event. You could go to different places in Abuja, take pictures, edit them very well, put it on maybe on Splash or whatever platform it is. When people search picture of Abuja, Nigeria, your pictures come up. When they download it, you get paid some amount of money. Just figure it out. You get the idea. So all of your skills can be converted to passive income. I think that applies to all other skills as well.
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
Yes.
So before we go back to the guys that raised their hand, I think there's another question. Ajakai after praise. Okay, we've answered praise. After praise, there is Ajakai. Investing comes with some risks and fear. What's your piece of advice? I think there's no level of investment that does not come with risk. Even I just said it now. If you are saving money to apply for a course, say maybe product design course, can you tell me 100% that when you finish that course, you get job? You are very certain, 100% certain that the moment I finish the course, I know when, I know the date and the time that I will get a job, and I know how much they will pay me. No, that's the risk. So you're investing in knowledge, investing in your skill to become better, right? But even that has a risk. The risk that you might not, what if you invest in a job and you don't get paid? So what if you do invest in the job, you learn product design, you freelance for a client online, and the client didn't pay you, they block you, or they pay you, they request for a refund. So every form of investing of money comes with risk. But one thing you need to understand is that for everybody, there's a level of risk that you can bear. Some people, it does not make sense to them that they will pay 500,000 for a class. For some people, it makes sense because they can bear that risk, right? And for some people, it does not make sense for them to say, pay 500,000 to buy a phone. You are buying a phone for 500,000. So what if by the time you get home, on your way to the toilet, your phone falls down, the screen break? It's still a risk, right? But you think that if you buy your phone, be able to do better and make more money, right? Or you buy your laptop, if you buy a new laptop, be able to write more code and do. What if you buy the laptop, the NEPA brings light, there's thunder strike in the middle of the night, enter the entire laptop, the motherboard is fried? It's still a risk. So the risk you are taking. So what you do is find the level of risks that you can take. Determine your risk appetite. Find the level of risk that you can take. Then keep on going for it. You learn along the way, right? Then there's something you should always look out for. Always check efficient frontier. Efficient frontier is what's the minimum risk that you can take that will give you the maximum return, right? It's a graph. It's technically around it, but always ask the question: what's the amount of risk I can take, right? That I'm willing to take. Then what's the minimum risk I can take that will give me the maximum return? When you find that sweet spot, so you are risking 10, you can risk 10,000 to make 1 million, and you can risk say 10,000 to make 100,000. What's that maximum risk you can take that will give you at least the very good level of return, and it will not hurt you? Keep going for it. Then who else has their hand raised? Is Faith Michael back? Okay, he's not back. All right, so let me just answer the question, the last question in the chat. Olaibi David said, I appreciate the passive and residual
Back.
income mindset, but I'm trying to figure out active income because I believe and I'm trying to figure out active income because I believe and just as you said, it all begins with active income. How can I build and attract customer to whatever business I want to engage? All right. This is more like a very wide question, but the idea is, like I said, everything to start with active income. When people talk on stage, I mean, they are coming from another perspective. Maybe it's just you that understand it from a different way, right? And we say, don't settle for 9 to 5. Please fucking settle for 9 to 5. Because 9 to 5 is where you get things started. 9 to 5 is basically the easiest active income to get into, right? Active income could be a photographer. People are paying to come and shoot their wedding and all. It's still active income, right? Because like father, you have to go to the event and you are busy. You are at the event shooting, carrying camera up and down. You cannot be in another event unless you have a double ganger. You get the idea. So you start with active income. But how do you now build and attract customers to whatever business you want to? I think the best answer to it is learn marketing, learn sales. To be very sincere, right? I mean, there are some of these books that I'm looking at now that they are about sales. As much as I read about finance, there's books about sales. Sales. Let me see. Let me see. Uh, okay, so I could literally pull out two different books about sales. This is Sell Like Crazy. This Sell Like Crazy works for you if you are selling digital products, you are selling stuff online. Then so sell or be sold. I've not read it so much, but it works around sales. So basically, just whatever you're doing, you don't have to just where you're investing time in learning about financial literacy. Invest time to learn about marketing. Test whatever it works. There's some marketing that would work for me because I'm into say restaurant business or I'm selling financial products that will not work for you because you are into photography or you are into say you're a developer, you're selling a software, we are selling land, right? Then there's this one that I read about side hustle. It's just so you get the idea. All right. So how you can attract customer to whatever business you are doing is learn about marketing, learn about sales. And when you learn about marketing and sales to an extent, you understand that you should build personal brand around yourself. Build a brand around yourself that by the time you want to sell something, people would want to buy from you. There's a time that it's a it's an high level example, but just to show us that personal brand can work for you. It depends on the kind of business that you're doing, right? So uh, say for now, the way I'm having this conversation now, the community has grown to say 10,000 people on the newsletter, and I'm producing say sweatshirts, round neck, and t-shirts that has some very fancy inscription on the body, right? Say something like I'm a modern magnet, and I wear it. I do a very good photo shoot. People see me wearing it around and stuff like that, and it looks good on me. People will buy it, right? The way I would market that will be different from the way I would market if I'm selling financial analysis course or if I'm selling so. So it depends on what you're doing. Just build personal brand around yourself. Learn about marketing. When you do personal brand and learn about marketing, you figure out what works. Yep. So, Faith Michael, you're back. Can you ask your question now? Michael, are you there? David, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
Faith Michael, are you there? You are still raising your hand. All right. All right. So I think Michael, you might want to type your question at this point to ensure that we answer your question before we leave. Please try to type your question at this point.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
So I don't think he can hear you. You should probably type your message so that I can answer you.
Okay, let me type.
Mike, okay, when you learn a skill involving rendering of services. Okay. Still waiting on the remaining part of the message. Okay. With Michael. Your message stopped at when you learn a skill rendering skill. When you learn a skill involving rendering services, I think the remaining part of the question is still missing. Father, please go for it. Okay, what advice can you
Okay,
give
so
to?
okay, I think someone is talking.
No,
Can you
I'm the
hear me?
one talking.
I've
Yeah.
completed.
Okay. So I remembered something which is I think what people overlook. So in my line of business, I also determine like location. Is there a way you can explain how location affects uh business? Like, and when I mean location, sometimes I mean like, okay, should I stay in Lagos? Should I stay in Abuja? But there's no place.
I get a question
There cannot.
perfectly. I get a question perfectly. How does location play into how much you can make, right?
Yes, like is you can do it anywhere, but for someone like me, you understand, based on maybe my surroundings, the way I am, my hair, like how will I find the location stable for me to thrive in? That's what I'm saying. You know, there's not, like photography, you can do it anywhere, but then a location that me as a person can thrive. I'm not talking about I can be in other businesses now. You understand? So that was something like that.
Yeah. So I think the concept is, let me use an example. Just like you said, sometimes location plays a very, not sometimes, I think all the time, location plays a very big factor on how much you can make, right? Because sometimes location can play a little bit of game around the perspective of what your value is worth. For example, say you're a developer now, you're in Nigeria, you make good money. But you travel abroad, you make more money than a developer, the same skill, the same level of experience. You make more money than a developer that is in Nigeria. Yeah. Just like the example I gave earlier that you're buying bottled water at, say, by the roadside inside traffic, maybe say on 200 or 150. You're buying it in the gym, it's maybe 250. Some gym, maybe 300. You're buying it at Chicken Rep, inside Chicken Rep, bottled water is 400. You're buying it in a club, it's maybe 1,015. So location can really play a long thing in how much you make. That's why you now have to understand strategic positioning, right? There's something that is in, there's a particular verse in the Bible that says, uh, the labor of the labor of the fool wearies them because they do not know the way to the town. So I think that's what you have to. Sometimes you have to understand that it's not only about what you know. You have to know the way to the town. So that means you have to strategically position yourself in places where people will see you and places where people will price you at that price you want to be priced. So say for example now, the same thing I'm telling you now. If I go to another place and I talk about the same thing, you guys are not paying me. I'll get paid more than £1 million for this, right? So you have to understand that even as a photographer, the same thing that you do for people that maybe they'll say, let me pay you 50K now. You go to places like Abuja and stuff like that, you would get paid higher. That's where you have to, sometimes you have to do things like strategically traveling, going to places to meet people so that it would help you in that way. I don't know if that answers your question perfectly. Then there's another question. Oh, now Faith has dropped his question. When you learn a skill involving rendering of services, how do you position yourself for network of clients and what personal brand should be employed? Rendering of services, right? How do you position yourself for network of clients and all? I think one of the ways you can position yourself for network of clients is going to events where you could actually meet people, right? People that would, one, people that can help you to grow your skill, then two, people that would potentially need your service. So say I want to go to places where I can meet people that will be clients to know my, what's it called, to need my service now. I will go to events where there are business owners, or maybe they are startups, because I'm a financial analyst. People that would need that kind of service are people that are into business, right? Individuals really need financial analysis, right? So I will go to events like that, maybe it's maybe 10 different business owners at once, get their contact number. I keep talking about something around personal financial analysis and all and all, and all, maybe on my socials and all. They will see it one day. It might not even be them that will need it. They will need some. They might need have somebody that needs the service. They will refer. then I make money, right? So some of these things are not something that would be immediate, right? But another way that I think that's one of the ways that could work. The another thing is personal branding. What personal branding should be employed? I think personal branding is just about setting yourself as an authority in a space. I think that's just what it's about. Just set yourself enough high that people can see you from afar. So people see you as you're climbing the ladder, people are seeing you from afar. They want to say they need somebody in photography now, or they need somebody in, say, data scraping or anything. They could, oh, I know this guy. He has been, apart from that, he's a very good, say, data analyst or something. You talk about, say, data analysis, maybe on a social and he has some level of validation. We think he can do it that way. It's a way of building network of client and all, right? Yeah. Then I think there's another question around how do you position yourself for, okay, that's faith again. There's one from Praise. What advice would you give to students who's just learning much about finance and start investing in stock? I just can't advice for investing in stocks. I think just understand what the stock is all about before you actually put your money into it. That doesn't mean you should not put your money into it. It means understand it. The idea is whatever you want to put your money into it, understand in such a way that, especially investment, understand in such a way that you can explain it to somebody else. When you understand it to that level, then you actually know that you know about what you're doing and analyze it. Do you have the risk appetite for what the kind of stuff you want to invest in? I think I dropped a voice note on the community around when somebody was asking that I had a call with a friend of mine asking if I could go through a recommendation of stocks that somebody gave to him. So I dropped the voice note. If you're on the group, you can check out the voice note. And I think Rennie or somebody joined the group recently asked the same question: what stocks would we recommend for her to invest? And I resent the voice note again. So if you go through the voice note, it helps you to answer that question about, yeah. So the idea is just at least make more money, put more money in investing, and know that investing is not only about stocks. First, you have to invest in yourself, your ability to make money. When you invest in yourself, your ability to make money, it would help you to move faster when you're investing in other assets, right? That are not you personally. Say, for example, you're making 50K per month. If you're saving 10% of your income, that's 5,000. That means you can only invest 5,000 in stocks or any other asset that you want to invest into, right? But say you take that 50,000, you find a way to save, and maybe you buy another course that enable you to now start making, say, 100,000 or 500,000. If you save 10% of 500,000, that's 50,000. So where somebody is investing 5,000 into stocks, you're investing 50,000. The rate at which you are moving is faster than the person, right? You get the idea. Then there are some things that if it's not needed, just convert them into asset for you and invest it. Try as much as possible to invest very early, very fast, make more money very fast, invest as fast as you can, right? Leverage all of these things that we've discussed. It will really help you to to achieve the financial freedom that you're looking for. All right. I think we've answered all of the questions, and it's been an exciting time, right? So, some of the people have actually dropped from the webinar, from the call. Thank you very much, everybody.
Last question, sir.
You still have a question? All right, let's go for it very fast.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, sir. So, this one is around investing, right? So,
could you hold up,
sir?
All right, hold on for a minute. So while he's asking his questions, so that people don't leave before we get the feedback. So if you have been in this call, you found value in this entire session, right? You found value, drop a comment, drop a feedback in the chat section. Let me know that you actually found value. This is what will enable me to do more, right? And before you ask this question, let me just make this subtle announcement. So my webinars are not going to be very frequent again. It's going to be, say, once in a month webinar. If it happens in that month, it's going to happen. It's only going to be once in a month. It's not going to be every time now. Initially, at the beginning of the year, I plan to have 52 of it, but I discovered that it will deliver more value, right? If it's just the minimum, we'll get it done. We deliver as much value as possible in one webinar. So it's going to be very few webinar, right? So the idea is going to be at least one webinar per month. So for the rest of this year, I'm looking at 10 webinar, and I'm out for this 2025. So try as much as possible not to miss all of the remaining ones. So this is one. We have 10 to go. All right, great. So if you have feedbacks, please drop your feedbacks. I would really appreciate your feedback. If you learn something, trust me that I'm going to screenshot your feedback and post it on my socials. So if you learn something and you gain value from this webinar, use that 10,000 naira value to write a very good feedback that you think would encourage somebody else to join another webinar. Put it there, put it in the chat section, and thank you very much. All right, please, Remilekun, please go for your question. Can you hear me? Remilekun, please go for your question. Can you hear me? Hello, are you there? Every still has a way of beeping somebody. Just tap and wake them up on the Google Meet. That would be a very good feature. You just tap a button, it will ring their device or ring their PC. Wow, that's an idea. It could be what residual income, but the way I can find.
Hello, sir.
Google. Yeah, come in. I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, please, I want to ask, like, I'm having this trouble of choosing which one to do first or not. So I don't have housing property for now. So, but I have like a spare 300K that I want to use to either buy a land or start building. So I really wanted to have my own personal house. So, but I'm having this confusion, either to get a land for farming and start farming, then raise money to build house. Since house is something like let's say a liability for now until it gets completed, and it is a personal house, let me put it that way. So it will be something like a liability, not an investment. So I'm having this confusion, either to invest that 300K in land and utilize that land for farming, and maybe from the proceed to build house. Is that advisable, or what do you feel I should do?
Okay, great. So I think the best way I will answer it is you've analyzed the situation yourself, right? So I think for you, you just have to answer what you need currently, right? You said you want to get a personal apartment. That's very cool, right? But the question now is, do you think if you I mean, like I said, everything has some level of risk. If you buy the land, right? You buy the land, if you use for farming, do you think you would, what's the chances of you, are you good with the farming stuff? Can you make more, can you really make money out of it? Because my back experience, I tried to test some things and it didn't work out and stuff like that. That doesn't mean you should not do it well. But if you are sure that you can make money, I feel like if you don't need the apartment, you don't need to move into the apartment urgently. It's not like you're married or something. You don't need the apartment urgently. You could use it to actually be bringing cash flow, right? If you're at the stage, if you're still in your youth, say, I think what you need is more of cash flow, something that can bring cash flow, and the farming activity could be cash flow. Farm enough, if it's something that is substantial, you can sell and get cash. You can use that to be rolling into, I mean, compounding to get something substantial to maybe even set the foundation of the apartment to whenever you're ready. So I feel like you could buy the land, right? I would say you should buy the land. Either you build or you farm, buy the land, hold it. You could be farming while you're actually waiting for maybe to get cash to develop it. You could actually be doing the farming at the same time. So you get the idea. So the two is good idea. Just I think based on what you just said now, just get the property. Get the property. It's not going to disappear. Get the property. If you're not ready to develop, just keep on farming. Get somebody to keep on reading the farming. By the time you feel like you're ready for the apartment, for building of the place, I feel like, oh, you have enough resources to build a place and you don't consider it a liability at that time, you can always jump into it. You get the idea?
Okay, great. Best. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you very much for everybody. I think that would be the last question. All right, so if you've not written your feedback or you're not giving your feedback, your comment or anything, please ensure to do that. Thank you very much. And I really appreciate everybody that joined. And thank you for investing in your personal finance. Thank you for learning. All right, great. So the recording will be stopping now. All right. It's been